Hello everyone and welcome to this new video where we go together. The incredible legend of Nostradamus Michel de Nostredame, known as Nostradamus, was born in 1503 in Saint-Rémy de Provence. He spent many years studying medicine and became one of the most renowned physicians in France in 1555. Michel de Nostredame is already a very recognized person, and his reputation is well established. But for the moment, it's not his prophecies that made him known at all, it's his exploits in medicine. At the time then still a doctor, Catherine de' Medici will then appeal to him for his qualities as a doctor, and it is during one of his interviews with Catherine de' Medici that Nostradamus will demonstrate his other talent. Nostradamus then explains to Catherine de' Medici that the king should no longer participate in tournaments because it could lead to his death. And as history has taught us, the king did not listen to the prophecy of Nostradamus and died during a tournament. At first, for most, necessarily, this will be a simple coincidence, while for others, they will already detect this as a talent of prophecy. It is from this moment that Nostradamus decided to write works containing many quatrains. For some, these quatrains could predict the future, especially because this work would be called the Prophecies. Whether for the French Revolution or the fate of Napoleon Bonaparte, he would have noted many quatrains that would predict the future for Napoleon Bonaparte. He is said to have written a quatrain in which he would speak of a little soldier from Corsica who would become the Emperor of Italy. He would have written other prophecies about the two world wars with the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. For others, he would also have succeeded in predicting the fall of the German regime or even 9/11. But the big problem we have with the specialists who study Nostradamus is that unfortunately they interpret these writings and find their meaning after the events have already taken place. This makes their results much more subjective, because at the moment no one would have been able to decode any of these messages before it happened. So if Nostradamus is a prophet and he knew the future so well, why aren't these messages clearer? First of all, we should know that when Nostradamus wrote his prophecies, we were in the middle of the Inquisition, so he cannot tell what he wants at all, because if he tells that the monarchy is going to collapse, he would automatically be put to death. So that's why he's mainly going to write these quatrains, so that only the most enlightened people can decode and understand them. That way, for most people, what Nostradamus wrote would remain gibberish, while for others it would be real predictions fulfilled by a prophet. The second thing to take into account is that he wrote these quatrains in 16th century French, and you should know that today the language has still plunged well, which makes understanding these quatrains necessarily much more difficult. And that is why for many specialists they will call him clairvoyant, while for others they would be called obscure, even representative. Nostradamus remains an eternal debate. Among the interpretations made by Nostradamus specialists, it turns out that some quatrains could potentially be false. That way he would have managed to blur the tracks even more. And for some, of course, it would simply be a new hypothesis for the end of his work. Nostradamus predicted world peace in 2025. We may have a solution by then. But in the meantime, Michel de Nostredame aka Nostradamus will continue to bother you, and many people will continue to ask themselves countless questions that will remain unanswered. And that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to tell me in the comments, and if you have other topics like that you want me to cover in my next videos. In the meantime, if you're interested in putting people on, you can go see my other episodes, you can like, share and subscribe. We will meet again in an upcoming episode. It was Quick on 5, peace out.